So many of you struggle in Hydra. So many of you have no idea what to do in Hydra. So today I will be going over how I built my two best Hydra teams, the essential components of those teams, so that you can replicate as much as you can on your account and get the best Hydra score possible. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Felrus, sailing the seas of Raid Shadow Legends today. And guys, I'm sure you're tired of hearing it, but if you want to start a brand new Raid Shadow Legends account, go ahead and use my link in the description below. You'll be rewarded with a free legendary champion. You guys know the legendary champion, it's Corrado, as well as 3 free epics as you progress your account. Guys, let's get into this. So I've only done one Hydra key as of the recording of this video. We're going to do another one today, I think. And it's this Cheshire Cat Hydra key, which did almost 40 million on hard mode, guys. And you can see the breakdown of damage right here. This is not a great team for me, but if you're struggling in Hydra, this probably looks insane to you, okay? So let's go over aspects of this team. All right, so first of all, I've got 2 damage dealers, and those are probably the most helpful thing I've found for me in getting more damage, at least recently, has been having a double damage dealer team. So we've got Cheshire Cat here, and we've got Quintus the Triumphant. Quintus and Cheshire Cat both solve certain problems in Hydra, which is something that you want to consider when bringing your nukers, when choosing your nukers, okay? But we'll get into that a little later. Quintus and Cheshire Cat are my nukers here. All right, I've also got Korugar Deathbell, who I talk about all the time on the channel, Syl of the Drakes, Ugo, and Mithrala. So these champions are bringing something that is absolutely essential to the Hydra team, okay? Each of them. So Korugar Deathbell is bringing protection, cleansing, and turn meter boost. If we go look at his kit, he's got a full cleanse and a turn meter fill by 30% on his A2. He's got a A1 that heals himself. He's got ally protection and strengthen on his A3, okay? So this guy has 75% damage mitigation, which is really good since we don't have any decrease attack on this team. All right, we've got Ugo here. Ugo coming in with block buffs, coming in with decreased defense, heals, right? Partial cleanse, as well as a Leech A1, which can come in super handy. Of course, the chance to place that Leech can be improved with the Sniper Mastery. We've got Syl of the Drakes here. Now, Syl is not a top tier Hydra champion, but she is a champion who, if you build her fast or in Relentless, she can give you a lot of value early on, okay? You equip her with War Master, and her passive will constantly keep your team alive. As you can see, she's got almost 2 million in heals here. Her passive that heals you every time she takes a turn will constantly keep your team alive. She's got a decreased speed on her A1. She's got increased speed on her passive. It's just crazy, okay? Super, super helpful early on in Hydra. We've got Mithrala. Now, Mithrala is bringing our buffs, okay? Mithrala is bringing increased defense, increased attack, adding to the protection that Korugar is already giving us. She's also got a cleanse of her own and a shield, okay? She has a strengthen too, but strengthen's always going to be up because of Korugar. So, Mithrala bringing more protection with the shields, more cleansing, okay, more protection with the increased defense, as well as increased attack for our Quintus and our Cheshire Cat so that they hit even harder. She's also got poisons on the A1, not super important in Hydra, but helpful. It gives you like 10k damage every time they proc or something. It's nothing huge, but it's a little bit of damage. As you can see, she's coming in at 5 million damage here. So that is the structure of this team. Okay, so what are the aspects that you need to replicate? I'm also going to show you guys my 100 million brutal team, and we're going to talk about how the teams are almost exactly the same as far as composition goes and the types of things that are in it, okay? Every single one of these champions is bringing multiple things that are effective in Hydra, all right? Mithrala is bringing our damage buffs, protection buffs, and Hex, as well as a cleanse. That's 4 things that we need for Hydra, right? Quintus is bringing Poison Cloud counter, oddly enough, off of his passive. His passive deals max HP damage for each buff on the target, which includes Poison Cloud. So Quintus is bringing us a Poison Cloud counter, which is super sweet. Cheshire Cat is bringing us Veils so that we can veil every time the head of Torment, I believe, is alive and active, okay, as well as keep doing damage with both of those, right? Because if you guys know, Poison Cloud only makes you weak hit. So Quintus dealing max HP damage through the Poison Cloud, it can't weak hit, is ensuring that you can still do damage even while Poison Cloud is active. All right, Cheshire Cat is the same way. You can still do damage even while the Head of Torment is constantly fearing you. All right, Korugar Deathbell, bring in our protection, bring in our cleanse, bring in our turn meter fill. Super, super important, guys. Super, super important role from Korugar. You need either decrease attack or ally protection or strengthen or shields or some sort of protective buffs in every Hydra team, because the heads just start hitting you too hard. And if you have limited healing, like Syl only heals by 10%, right? Ugo heals on a 4-turn cooldown. If you have limited healing like this, you need something else to protect you and keep you alive. You can use decrease attack, ally protection, strengthen, shields. A lot of people just use Mithrala for the shields, but if you're struggling in Hydra, you may not have Mithrala. So, right, so like someone like Tagore could work as an epic option here, guys. All right, so that is my second best Hydra team. I don't think 40 million on hard is terrible, but it's not my best, guys. I haven't done my best Hydra team, but we'll go ahead and take a look at who it consists of and why. All right, here we have my main Hydra team right there. We've got Shayak, the Pack Master, underrated champion, by the way. Thor, potentially an overrated champion. Calamitous, Elva, Padraig, and Vizix the Unbowed. So we're going to go in a bit of a deeper dive into each of these guys' kits and show you exactly what they are bringing. Starting with Packmaster Shayak here. All right, so we've got Shayak. He is 6-star awakened with Lightning Cage. That was a super lucky pull. I don't buy soul stones or anything, so that was a super lucky pull. Although I wish I could have had 6-star awaken for some other champ. I guess if I equipped him with Brimstone, he does have enough accuracy to reliably land Brimstone in most areas. But he's just a weird one to have 6-star awaken. But anyways, let's take a look at his kit and how I have him built. So, drop defense on the A1. It's actually books up to a pretty darn good chance at 70% chance, but you can increase that with masteries, 75% chance of placing decreased defense for 2 turns. And then he has an ally attack with all the dogs in the game, which is not useful in this team. But anyway, A1 decreased defense, not on a nuker. Very good for just making sure decreased defense is up on everybody. He will be A1ing a fair amount. All right, on the A2, Pack Alpha, self cleanse, then heals them by 50% of his max HP, then places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns, equal to any surplus heal. So you want to either open with this move or the A3, and we'll get to that in a second. But basically, if he's at full health, he'll put a shield for 50% of his max HP on himself, which is super crazy. The shield cannot be removed, stolen, transferred, if whatever. And then finally places taunt and reflect damage on this champion for 2 turns. They can't be removed, stolen, or transferred if at least a hound is on the same team or whatever. So basically, he is putting a shield, taunt, and reflect damage all on himself, making him a perfect mischief tank because he is bringing himself 3 buffs that nobody else has. All right, then we've got the Blood Howl, the A3, 25% turn meter fill. You could use this guy as a speed booster in arena. He's good. Also has a 100% chance of placing block buffs on all enemies for 2 turns. So this is not a hit. It just has a turn meter fill and then block buffs. Super underrated move, by the way. That's on a 3-turn cooldown. A 3-turn cooldown. Okay, and then finally on the passive, when attacked, places Hex on the attacker for 1 turn. Ally attacks, not ally attacks, but allies attacking targets under Hex placed by this champion deal 20% more damage. And then you've got counter attack from the hounds. So this guy is covering 4 things in Hydra, okay? This is why I think Shayak is so good. Everybody's down on him, especially since the Hydra changes, because the taunt thing doesn't work anymore. But, he's still bringing you 4, potentially 5 things that you need in Hydra, okay? He's bringing you a mischief target, okay? We have him built with a crap ton of resistance. The resistance on this guy, 522 resistance. That is enough resistance to resist stuff in arena, even in live arena sometimes, okay? 522 resistance on this guy, 325 accuracy. We can get that up with like affinity bonuses and whatever. All right, so he is a mischief tank, which means that when he's attacked, he's going to be keeping Hex on the head of mischief. That is super important. Super important. You need a Hex, and if your Hex is coming from your mischief tank, all the better, right? Then he has a block buffs and a speed boost. All right, so you need block buffs to prevent Poison Cloud from coming on everybody. You need Hex so that you can attack the head of mischief, because the most effective way to get damage in Hydra is by attacking the Head of Mischief. It's the squishiest head, and you can just decapitate it over and over and over and over. So a Hex is super, super important. All right, he's got your speed boost, making sure you take more turns, making sure you lap the Hydra heads, all that kind of stuff, and decrease defense on the A1. So if you ever miss it with whoever else your decreased defense champion is, he can just come in and clean up once again. Guys, I do have another one. It's not in quite as good of a build, but I do have another Packmaster Shayek. Here he is. Guys, I don't have this one booked. I need to book him. But we've got similar... Oh, wait, I haven't even... I haven't even built this guy yet. I haven't even built him yet. But I do have another one. Again, equipped with Lightning Cage so that he can Mischief Tank for another Hydra team. Shayek just covers so many bases, right? And having all of that in one champion is super, super helpful early on. So if you're struggling in Hydra, you've got this guy. Consider using him. Consider using him if you're not already. If you have used him already, then you are on the right track to getting a crap ton of damage in Hydra. In any case, make sure you are bringing champions that have turn meter boost, block buffs, Hex, potentially a Mischief Tank, although it's not required at first, and then decrease defense. That is the takeaway from Mr. Shayek. All right, now, who else do we have? We've got Thor. Thor's going to be just a damage dealer, all right? I've got him equipped with the Cat's Gaze Relic. That'll be awesome. He's got just damage, right? He's got a decreased speed on his A3, which is super important, but we've got another decreased speed champion, so it's more of a nice to have than anything else. He ramps, he attacks on his passive, all that kind of stuff. He's really just a damage dealer. Here are the stats on Thor. We've got almost 5k attack, crit capped with really good crit damage and 165 accuracy. Again, we are not looking to place that decreased speed. He's just a damage dealer for us. But this is one of our two damage dealers. Our other damage dealer is going to be Calamitous here. Calamitous is going to be only using his second form. And what does he bring in his second form? Well, he brings Hex and decreased defense. So the decreased defense on the AoE is going to be super good. Oh boy, we've got server maintenance coming. Fun. All right. The decreased defense on an AoE is incredibly effective, guys, as well as the Hex. Just making sure we do more damage, basically. And then he has an A2 slam, right? He's going to slam on his A2. He's got a self-cleanse on both his A1 and his A2, which is very nice. And then he ignores defense if they're under Hex. Also, super, super sweet. So he's going to be our decreased defense Hex champion as well as our second damage dealer. All right, we've got Elva. Elva Autumnborn coming in here. What does she have that we are so interested in? Well, she's got full cleanse, block debuffs, and increased speed. She's got a revive, a very good revive. She's got passive heals just like Syl does. Heals each ally by 10% of their max HP at the start of their turn, as well as continuous heals from the A1. All right, so Elva is our healer. She's just going to be constantly healing everybody, and she'll put out more heals than Syl will because of her A1. All right, so you need a good chunk of healing. Guys, you may be wondering, where is the protection? Well, our protection is coming from Vizix the Unbowed. All right, Vizix is going to be coming in. She's going to be bringing our decreased speed along with our ally protection. Again, on a 3-turn cooldown booked. I don't have her booked. She's also going to be placing a provoke, which means we won't get cleansed by the head of, what is it? I don't know what the head is. Whatever the head is that you can provoke that just fully cleanses everybody. All right, and then she's got a double hit A1 that fills the champion's turn meter equal to the amount the target loses. That kind of meh because we can't decrease turn meter in Hydra. But she's bringing an A1, she's bringing a shield for herself, she's bringing ally protection and decreased speed. Again, 3 things that are absolutely essential in Hydra. All right, and finally, we've got Grand Oak Padraig. Why is Grand Oak Padraig so good? Well, he's basically a damage enabler. He enables damage. He's got this weird spores, which is an ally attack. It then restores allies destroyed max HP, places continuous heal on them for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. Very, very good skill. And then he also has a full cleanse with turn meter fill and increased speed on his A3. Absolutely massive. And then he's also bringing our damage buffs. So increased attack, increased defense, increased accuracy, and shields, all depending on the champion's type, right? He's going to be doing this at the start of each one of his turns. So he is the fastest champion that we have on the team, coming in at 343 speed. Of course, that could be improved with glyphs. And then on his A1, attacks one enemy, 25% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random ally's active skill by 2 turns. Guys, I hope that is helpful. I walked you through my entire Hydra team so that you can get an idea of what it is that is so important in Hydra and how you could potentially replicate the same things. Once again, the most important things to have are decreased defense, Hex, some sort of protection or damage mitigation, and damage, guys. Those are going to be the most important things. A cleanse is really nice too, and a turn meter fill are the next two things that I would look for if you're struggling for options. Guys, hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Felris, and I will see you in another video.